Hey everybody, it's me, Stephanie. So anyways, I actually came on here because I'm excited. At first I was nervous because I know that the pain that I dealt with before with my boobs was pretty intense. But yeah. So, but now, today was actually my pre-op appointment because I moved I think I told you guys this, but I moved my surgery up to the 21st from the 28th because my husband couldn't get off that time for work. So anyways, moved it up a week, and he came with me today to my pre-op, my husband did, and I was actually laughing because, well, basically, here's what happened. We went in and we were talking to the nurse lady. She was just giving me my, do's and don'ts and whatnot, which, been there, done that, so I already kind of knew. But, good to know anyway. And in talking to the surgeon, sorry, I'm like totally spacey right now, I'm hungry. In talking to the surgeon and the nurse, my husband asked a few questions. I asked a couple questions, of course, because I was honestly, I was kind of going back and forth between what I was going to do with my implants, because right now I have saline implants that are filled to 480 cc's, and they are high profile. Well, I don't know, I guess the high profile isn't exactly a favorite for my surgeon, and I don't know exactly why, but I'm guessing it's just, not as natural looking. I wouldn't know, because it was kind of funny because at one point they asked me, oh, what size bra do you wear currently? I don't know, because I can tell you what I wear around, but I sure can't tell you what size cup I wear because I can't wear a regular bra. Beats me, I'd like to know. I was like, I don't know, can you tell me? I seriously have no idea. But anyways, so we switched my implants, or I'm going to be switching my implants, obviously, when I have the surgery, which is in 2 weeks. Yay! Yeah, I'm switching my implants out. They're still going to be saline, except this time we're going with, this time I am going with, it's moderate round profile plus, which basically, the best way that I know how to explain this is to basically do this. Okay. When you're talking about high profile, you've got this, let's do it like this. No, let's do it like this. Okay. You've got this small little round, area, but it projects out quite a bit farther. So it projects more like this from the side that you can see. Okay, but it's still not very big around, so yeah. The moderate round profile plus, however, okay, there's a high profile here. You got moderate round profile plus. Now, it's obviously wider. It's more, rounded this way. It's wider. But instead of it projecting out far like that, it's just like this. Now, if I just went with a moderate, it would have been more like this. But I want more projection. I don't want it to be so much projection that it looks unnatural, but like my ones now, how they would look, I guess, if they were in the proper place. But yeah. So, I was talking to him and I said, okay, well, basically what I have right now is 480 cc's high profile saline implants. And I want them to be as much projection as they are if I were to put them, like when I push them into the right position where they're supposed to be. That's what I want it to look like. So I asked him, am I going to need to put more cc's in this other one since it's more round? And obviously, okay, let's look at it like this. When you put fluid in something like this, it can only fill up so much before it starts going out more, right? Well, when it's more round and more width-wise, it has to fill up the width before it can go out. So I asked him about that, and I honestly, I was pretty surprised because right now I have 480 cc's, which I thought was pretty big, and it is for a high profile. I think it's a D. He did say, well, okay, anyways, I don't want to get off that subject, but it's a D, and he said in order for me to be able to keep that size and to look the same, but look more natural, but still, you know, keep the same size, he said that I should go with, and this shocked the heck out of me, moderate round profile plus saline implants that are filled to 600 cc's. I was like, what? 600? I was like, oh my gosh. But he said that it's going to be the same. I'm still going to be a D, in that, you know, obviously Victoria's Secret, I would probably be a double D, but that's because they actually run small, which if you've ever bought anything from Victoria's Secret, you probably already know that. But yeah, so 600 cc's. It did cost me $800 more than what I was originally quoted, which was $5,700. So I'm paying $6,500, but I was going to keep my same implants, and I really didn't know how that would look afterwards. So my husband said, look, tell us what your professional opinion is. What do you think she should do? I even almost considered switching to silicone, the gel implants, but he's a really good surgeon. You know, he's not in it just for the money. I mean, obviously he does it for money because he does it for work. We all do work for money, right? But he's not one of those people that are just going to tell you to go with something outrageous that's going to look weird on you because he wants more money. That's not how he is. And I like that about him, because had he said that we should have gone with silicone, obviously he would have been trying to get more money because silicone is more expensive. And it's a little bit more work because you have to cut a wider incision. So he actually said no, that silicone is probably not the best idea, that he prefers saline over silicone most times anyways. So that is what I'm doing. And oh man, oh, that's what I was going to tell you guys. Okay, this is just really funny actually. My husband has never gone with me to these appointments except for, you know, when I originally had my surgery the first time with the dummy that did my surgery. But with Dr. Mitz, Mike never came with me, so he never got to meet him. And, you know, I brought him this time because I really felt like I kind of need his opinion on this, because I'm going to be making a drastic change in my life, and I want to know, you know, what makes him happy too, because it's not just for me. Of course, it's mainly just for me, but it's not just for me. You know, I want my husband to be happy with it too. So, whoa, looks like I have a rooster on my head. Remember those days back in the 80s? Anyway, sorry, totally off subject. Yeah, so I wanted to know what my husband thought. Anyway, he asked a lot of good questions, and I was pleasantly surprised that he actually had as many questions as he did. I was actually glad he did, because most of the time my husband doesn't really try to get involved into that stuff, you know. He's just more or less like, do whatever you want to do, just do whatever you want to do. But I like his opinion sometimes, so it was nice. And the funniest part of all was, after we were done with everything, the surgeon left and the nurse left, and they were like, okay, go ahead and get dressed. And Mike obviously was in the room with me still. So I'm putting my clothes on, and I turn and I'm looking in the mirror to try to see, like, you know, if my shirt looked like it was put on properly, you know, just a regular thing when you're getting ready. And they have, like, this entire, like, desk filled, I mean, literally covered with breast implants of all different sizes and shapes, and silicone and saline and whatever, okay? There's probably about 30 or 40 of them on the table. And anyway, I turn around and I am busting up laughing. Like, it was so unnatural and weird looking. But I turned around to my husband, and he's like tossing, like, these, not juggling, but there's like one, but he's like tossing one in the air and like catching it like it's a baseball or something. And I was like taken back. Like, I didn't even know what to say. I just turned around and I just kind of laughed, and I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, what? I said, okay. I was like, are you having fun? So yeah, sure. He's like, whatever, I just grabbed it. I mean, it was just something to play with. He's like that, though. Like, he has to always be, like, messing with something. Like, if we're in the car, he's one of those people that, like, drum on everything. I don't know. Or he, like, picks something up and he just starts, like, fidgeting with it. I'm the same way. I think a lot of us are. But anyway, that was pretty humorous. I kept thinking, oh my gosh, if this doctor walks back in, that's going to be embarrassing. It's kind of funny. But anyways, that's just for laughs. This is my update. I'll keep you guys updated as soon as I hear anything else. But the next thing I'm going to hear is what time my surgery is at. And that's just going to be a few days before my surgery. So, whew, I am ready. One last thing that I was really excited about, because I know that with me, and with most people in my family, Vicodin doesn't do anything to me, and Percocet just makes me sick. So, I was a little concerned. I didn't want to say, hey, I need better medication, because sometimes, you know, when they're doctors, I'm sure they hear it often, and I'm sure they have, you know, occasional people that come in that are like, you know, prescription pill addicts that want, you know, a ridiculous kind of prescription that's super strong that they can keep getting refilled or whatever for pain, which probably they don't even have. But so I was a little apprehensive about even saying that. But she was like, the nurse lady, she said, okay, you know what, we're going to give you extra strength Vicodin. And you know, my husband vouched for it too. He was like, no, trust me, like, she wasn't sleeping, she wasn't tired, she was just in a lot of pain. So she's like, I'm going to give you extra strength Vicodin. And they're also going to give me Valium, I guess, because it helps with the worries. And I'm sure it does. I'm sure it makes you not even give a crap about anything, which is basically what I want, because I do not want to feel that pain again. If I'm just being honest. And then they also give you, this is gross, but you guys have all, you know, if you had gastric bypass, you know what it's like. But they give you a suppository that's basically a nausea pill that you have to use. You don't have to, but you can if you get sick or nauseous. So, yeah. But I'm excited about the fact that they're actually going to give me something that's going to help, rather than me be laying here like, please give me something that's substantial enough to get me to go to sleep so I don't have to feel this pain. Ugh, gosh. Anyhow, I have made this a very long video, and I didn't mean for it to be, but I had a lot to say, and I was really excited. And when I get excited about something, I just ramble on. So, yeah, that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Oh, and good luck to Thinspired 140. She had her surgery today. Woohoo! Alright, that's it. Bye, guys.